Hello, everyone. Sorry I can't be there in person. I am currently in Elmira, New York, and while you're watching this, I'll be starting up a piece of equipment for a project that we have up here. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that we go over this and that I deliver this to you guys for the company vision for 2025. So Cheyenne should have handed this out to everybody, and should have gone over the recap of 2024. As you all know, we had a very good year, 2024, and I am very happy with how it went, and I hope everyone here is happy with how it went. To roll into it, to get this done quickly and make a comment that Evan will be making the APEC thermal company vision. He will be reviewing that after I review APEC Engineering's company vision. Going into it, to start, just to review our core values. For the people who are new here, the core values of APEC Engineering are respect, reputation, responsibility, and reward. It is very important that we remember this, and that whenever we're making a decision, if we have a question of how or why we're making a decision, we refer back to these core values. Core values are incredibly important for a company to have and to maintain. And in 2025, I do want to make sure that we drive these home and we push this in every decision that we make. As for core focus, we're maintaining our core focus of high quality solutions. Something that came out in the reviews at the end of the year is that due to the higher volume of work that we have, we are kind of slipping on our quality, especially in engineering. This is something we need to maintain and kind of push going forward into 2025. As we talked about before, our niche is custom processes, machines, and services with a focus in these four categories: assembly cells, heating, thawing, chemical handling and batching, and coding and converting. This is something we're going to maintain into the new year. As for our 10-year target, this 10-year target is the same as the 10-year target we had last year. Through conversation, we do not have any desire to change this. This simply puts us into a frame of reference on what direction we're heading as we plan for the future. As for marketing strategy, these target markets are uniques, and our proven process are staying the same as they have been in the past year. Now, going into the most exciting part of this is our 3-year picture. So during previous reviews of our vision, we have maintained our 3-year picture. And this 3-year picture was actually made 2 years ago. And the exciting part about this is if you read through the 3-year picture, is we've reached it in 2 years. As you walk through APEC Engineering, what we envisioned and what we talked about 2 years ago is where we're at today. So this really shows you the importance of documenting a 3-year picture, because as we all know, time goes fast, and we do want to make sure that we see where we've come from, see that we are making progress, and we can continue to make progress. So since we are at our 3-year picture and we deemed that we need to kind of reassess this, we established a new 3-year picture. So the future date of this is December 2028. Now, at this time, we kind of reevaluated our revenue. So in our previous 3-year picture, you can see that we had a revenue goal of 7 million. Well, if you go back 2 years, that would have been over doubling our revenue of what we were doing, and that is a tough ask. So now that we're here, we're looking at having a revenue of 7.5 million. So this year, we almost did 4 million in revenue at APEC Engineering. So the goal is 7.5 million with a net profit of 20%. The measurables are to have one stakeholder-owned satellite or division, 4 dedicated electrical engineers. I do want to specify that dedicated is a very strong word we're using here for the engineers. Throughout this company's history, it has been very difficult to have dedicated people to dedicated roles. At a small company, you need to be able to do a large amount of roles, and it is tough. It's tough to do your job to the best of your capability when you're doing 5 other jobs. So with this, we are saying that there will be 4 dedicated electrical engineers, 3 dedicated mechanical engineers, and 2 dedicated process engineers in 3 years. On the other hand, we're looking to have 2 machinists, 2 panel builders, and 3 fabricators in 3 years, along with 3 assembler installers. And what I'd like you guys to do is take a look at the 3-year picture here and how it's written. As I said before, over 2 years ago, we established this picture for APEC Engineering. What I've seen is that we have set the groundwork for APEC Engineering and for where we want to go. We've defined, well, we've bought into the APEC Engineering process. We've defined the project workflows. APEC Engineering now has a clear instruction of how each department works with each other and the work flows from sales to engineering to manufacturing to our customer. That is a huge accomplishment here. Then what we have is the moving into the YMCA, having an established headquarters that we can grow and we can expand in. So right now we've set the groundwork. We're here. What we want to see in the next 3 years, the picture for the next 3 years, is to bring APEC Engineering into a position of prestige. In a comment made during our meeting is we want to see ourselves as a larger company in 3 years. Throughout projects, all of us have seen that we've had to learn a lot. Companies will bring up different standards, different certifications that we pursue and get better. But in 3 years, we want to be at the place that we are that company that shares those standards, who requires that we follow that specific quality. We want to be that large company that people come to and know that they're going to get pieces of equipment and solutions that are to that high standard and certifications. The comment that was made that we are looking to be ISO or UL certified, and we are looking at other certifications in each discipline to help us get there in 3 years. As for production, we're looking to have 4 large pieces of equipment being produced each year. Every day, we should walk through manufacturing and be amazed by the machines that we are building. We got a little bit of a taste with Nemaska, is that every time I went home, I was like, I would have just wanted to stop in and look at it. This is something that should be a constant at APEC Engineering. When we walk through that corridor, come in, we should be wondering, I wonder how far we're going to get on this today. And when we leave, we should be enjoying looking at the progress of how equipment's being built. It's been a joy doing it with Nemaska, and we want to continue that and establish that as a constant at APEC Engineering. Next, we want to continue improving our culture. Downstairs, we all know that we are in progress of getting the gym finished to provide a facility for health and fitness for employees. Next, we're looking at benefits that we can provide specifically in the healthcare realm to everybody at APEC Engineering. Healthcare is one of the biggest pains in the United States, and we want to be there for you to navigate that and to ease some of those pains. Finally, we want to have a stakeholder-owned division or satellite. This is something that we have talked about for, I think, since APEC Engineering was started. I know that I've heard this over the years. And this is something that we are primed and ready to tackle in the next 3 years. It's something that we want to see done in the next 3 years and the framework set in place so that we can keep growing and expanding on stakeholder-owned divisions or satellites going forward. So that's the 3-year picture. And as I said, it's important to write that down because as you saw, we wrote it down 2 years ago and we're here. So the ability to define that goal is huge, and I am really excited to meet that next 3-year picture in 2028. So going into the 1-year plan, so this is how we're going to get to that 3-year picture. So the future date of this is December 19th, 2025 in a year. We're looking to have a revenue of 5 million at the end of 2025 and a net profitability of 20% in APEC engineering alone. This goal is sales. We're looking to divide this up in service, having $750,000 of revenue in service and 4,250,000 in projects. So this year in 2024, we had $500,000 in service. So we're trying to uptick that and then uptick the projects a little bit in our goal. We have already made decisions and plans to meet this goal and to provide Nick the support to have the sales meet this goal in 2025. We're looking to implement the 5 position levels for each position in manufacturing. So we've done this in engineering and provided a structure of how engineers are going to grow in their position, how they're going to lead to project managers and to have that growth. We want to do the same for manufacturing. And the importance of this is during the reviews, we saw a lot of requests for continuing education for growth in the position and at the company. And we talked about kind of what we see for this and expanding the roles in manufacturing. And we want to implement these levels so that we can then start to provide continuing education, provide growth and certification in different areas, and kind of build it into our processes and systems that those growing positions in manufacturing. So it's a very exciting goal that we have for next year. Next is making systems and standards easily accessible and available to every employee. So as we saw with the service systems and standards in the process that we have there, we made doing the systems and following the systems standards in service so easy that you wanted to do it. You wanted to fill out the TMR because it was just so easy to do through our forms. You wanted to submit the service request because the transfer of information was 10 times easier to do through the service request form than it was to do over a passing by in the hallway. So this is something that we're going to try to tackle in the new year, is making our systems and standards so easily accessible that we should be asking, where's the system and standard? It should be here. People should be requesting systems and standards, and we should be implementing them in such an easily accessible way that people are asking themselves, why am I not using this? It's so easy to use. So to get to these goals, the rocks of the first quarter, so we have a date of March 31st, 2025. We have a revenue goal of 2 million and a profitability goal of 20%. For this, these are kind of micro steps to get to our goal of the year. So we're looking to implement a new structure of navigating systems and standards. Currently, we use SharePoint, and we're looking to tackle that and utilize that to make systems and standards readily available. We're looking to complete a manufacturing design review process map. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the positions and the levels in the shop. We want to bring in manufacturing personnel into the design, into what is the best way to do this to prevent problems in the future and to save costs for APEC engineering. So we're looking to build that process map and to build that into how we design. Next, we are going to install compressed air and 480 volts in the war room along with a pneumatic training assembly. So along with continuing education, a lot of people requested more training with pneumatics and power and how specific things work in engineering. So we want to expand the capability of the war room so that we can start training people internally on how these devices and kind of different methodologies work so that we can expand our capability in manufacturing. Next, we're going to define all manufacturing position levels on the position agreements. So Cheyenne and I have been working on that to kind of get those defined and clearly communicated. We're going to implement APEC Engineering Brand Book. So this is something that Evan has been working on the last few months. The importance of this is to make sure that we have a clear direction with our brand. What are we selling here at APEC Engineering? And getting on the same page so that one person at the company doesn't have to review everything. We can reference a clear, defined brand book to say, this is the brand that we're selling. Next, we're going to prove and document the APEC sales process utilizing a sales engineer. So as you saw in the recap, we came a little bit short of our sales goal for projects. The change that we're making for this is Dave is going to move into a sales engineering role, and we're hiring a process engineer to kind of take up the slack with process engineering. So with a dedicated sales engineer, that is the plan to increase sales and meet the goal that we have set for the year. So that's the vision for 2025. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out to me or Cheyenne, and we can answer them. I'll be emailing you guys the reports for the end of the year, so you guys have them for reference. If you have any questions regarding that, please let me know, and have a good week.